Hey everybody, good morning, happy Friday. Okay, let's make dinner together. Today we're gonna make Swedish meatballs and it's really easy, so let's go. Okay, so you're gonna start with a pound of ground chuck in your bowl. We're gonna add some spices. This is so easy, you guys, and it's so delicious. In here I have a tablespoon of minced onion. You can chop onion if you want to. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. I have a teaspoon of garlic powder in there. I'm gonna dump that right in, okay? I like garlic, so I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic to mine. I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, kind of a heaping 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. Salt and pepper. Now the salt and pepper I don't really measure, I just sort of eyeball it, okay? Eyeball it. A little bit of pepper. I have to refill my grinders. They are out. So a little bit of pepper, black pepper. I go a little heavier on the black pepper, but just because I like it. Try not to inhale the pepper. That's what I just did. 1 egg. I inhaled the pepper and now my eyes are watering and my nose is running. Super. A 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. Make sure they're just plain breadcrumbs, okay? 1/4 cup of that. What else am I forgetting? What else am I forgetting? And that's it, okay? And then you're gonna mix it all together. Just wanna make sure I got everything in there. Now you're just gonna mix all that together. The allspice and the nutmeg give these a really good flavor. So if you've ever had an IKEA meatball, you know how people freak out over them? These are really, really good, okay? So you're just gonna, you don't wanna over mix it. Just give it a good mix. I can't get my nose to stop running now. Okay, I always wear gloves because ew. And then what I'm gonna do is form them into balls and I'm gonna air fry them. So I'm gonna take it and probably make the Swedish meatball about that big, okay? Okay, once you roll them out, like maybe a little bit smaller than a golf ball, okay? I have them in the air fryer. I sprayed it with cooking spray and I'm gonna air fry them at around 350, maybe for like 8 to 9 minutes. It doesn't matter if they're not cooked all the way through. We're gonna make the sauce and we're gonna finish cooking them in the sauce. Okay, now we're gonna make our sauce, okay? This is 5 tablespoons of butter. I know, it's okay. Once in a while, it's okay. We're gonna put that in here and we're gonna turn it on like a medium heat. And once that starts to melt down a little bit, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. That's gonna make like our roux. It's gonna thicken the sauce, okay? Okay, now my butter is nice and melted. I'm gonna take my 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and put it in there. This is one of my favorite like comfort foods. Really, it's so good. And it's a little bit chilly here in Arizona, believe it or not. So we're just gonna mix that till it's all combined and we're gonna toast off the flour and make this sort of like glue-looking roux, right? It looks really thick. Okay, you see? That's how you want it to look. And we're just gonna, I shouldn't use that to do that. I should use something like this to move it around in the pan until it's all combined with the flour. Once you do that, you're gonna add in 2 cups of beef broth. 2 cups of beef broth. Okay, so once you have that flour and butter all mixed, you're gonna add your 2 cups of beef broth. And I have that on like a medium heat. Okay, some of these beef broths have a lot of sodium in them, so they're kind of salty. So a little bit of salt at a time when you do this. And I'm just gonna kind of stir the beef broth in. And once the butter and flour have been absorbed, I'm gonna add 1 cup, if I don't spill it, of heavy whipping cream, heavy cream. Once all of that is combined, you're gonna go ahead and add your heavy cream. This is gonna help thicken it as well. And just keep your extra beef broth on the side. If it starts to get a little too thick, you can add a little bit at a time if you wanna thin out your Swedish meatball sauce. But right now we're gonna add 1 cup of the heavy cream. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of Worcestershire. Safe word, Worcestershire, try saying that. So we're gonna do a tablespoon of Worcestershire. I always go a little extra, let it flow over because I like the taste of it, just a little bit. Okay, a tablespoon of that, and you're gonna need some Dijon mustard. This is gonna give it a really good flavor too, and you're gonna do a teaspoon of that. I'm just gonna sort of eyeball it. I put a little extra, whatever. And then mix all that together and just start to let it simmer, okay? Keep it on like a medium low, stir it. It's gonna start to get really thick. It smells amazing already. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. Now remember what I told you, the beef broth can be a little bit salty, so I'm gonna add a little bit at a time, and then I'll taste it and I'll add more salt if I need it. I'm just gonna do a skinch more, just a little bit more. And then a little bit of pepper, a few shakes of pepper. Allow it to simmer and thicken, and then when the meatballs are done cooking, we'll add them back into the sauce. It's really starting to thicken up nicely. I'm gonna just taste it and see if I wanna add any more salt and pepper, or if any more Dijon or anything in there. It's a really pretty thick sauce. It's hotter than hot. This sauce will make your knees buckle. It's so good. I could just sit here and eat it with a spoon. Heavy cream, I mean, come on, how can you go wrong? So it's at a point where I'm gonna keep it on real low. I'm gonna transfer my meatballs over. Okay, so you could just put your meatballs in the pan if you're ready to eat it like right then, and let them finish cooking through, maybe about another 10 minutes or so, and you can check a meatball, see if it's cooked through. It should be by then. And then chop up some parsley and just put it on the top. This is early, it's still early, so I'm gonna throw mine in the slow cooker and just keep it on warm, because Robbie and them will be home in a little while, and I wanna just keep it warm until they get home. And I'm gonna serve it with mashed potatoes and French styled green beans that I do in the air fryer that are delicious, by the way. So I'm just putting my sauce into my little slow cooker. Y'all know I love me a slow cooker. I think that's one thing every single person should have. We're gonna get our meatballs out of our air fryer. Look at them. You can see they're not cooked all the way through. It's fine. They're gonna finish cooking in our sauce. And oh my God, they smell amazing. So my meatballs are in there. I'm gonna let them finish, cooking through on the warm setting on the crock pot. When they're finished, I'll chop up the parsley and I'll garnish it with parsley just for some color. I should tell you that I got 16 meatballs out of that. There's 4 of us in my family that I'm feeding, so that's perfect amount for everybody. I'll probably only eat 2. Robbie will probably eat a couple extra. And I'm gonna make the mashed potatoes and then just serve them on top of the mashed potatoes with the gravy. Oh my gosh, talk about the best comfort food ever, but I'll be back to show you the end result. All right, everything is done and it smells amazing. So I made rosemary mashed potatoes, and then I made the green beans in the air fryer. Let's try it together. This is such a comfort meal. And the meatballs, they're cooked perfectly. So good. You guys give it a try. Let me know what you think. Delicious. Waffy.